everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Today's Creations. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draft a basic bodice pattern block. This bodice pattern is very important because it will serve as a base for every single upper body or dress pattern you'll be drafting for so many designs. Before starting this tutorial, make sure you watch my previous video on how to take accurate body measurements because you'll be needing your upper vertical and horizontal measurements to draft this pattern. For this tutorial, you'll need some drafting paper, a pencil, an eraser, a marker, a straight ruler, and a curved ruler. Now let's begin. Start by drawing a 1-inch horizontal guideline at the top of your pattern paper. This line will be used to mark your neckline and shoulder measurements. Next, we'll mark out the vertical measurements. From the top of the paper, measure and mark your shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to top length measurements. For this pattern, I'll be using the whole length of the paper as my shoulder to top length measurement, and that was 23 inches. If you'd like, you could make it longer or shorter depending on your preference. To determine your chest line, come up by 2 inches from your bust point and then draw a straight line. To prevent confusion, you could also name each line just as I'm doing in this video. From the top corner, measure 3 inches downwards and 3 inches inwards. This will create a 3x3 neckline, which is a standard base measurement that can be adjusted later depending on your design. Use your curved ruler to join both points, and that's how you get your neckline. Next, measure half of your shoulder measurement from the neckline, and for me, that is 7.5 inches. Mark the same measurement on the chest line and use your ruler to connect both points with a straight line. From this line, measure 1 inch downwards to create the shoulder slope and then connect it back to the neckline. Finally, divide the remaining section of that line in half and mark that point. On this point, come inwards by ½ inch and mark again. Now use your curved ruler to draw a smooth line connecting the shoulder slope, the midpoint, and the chest line together, and this is how you get your armhole curve. Now we'll move to the bust dart line. To create your bust dart line, divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. This new measurement you get is also known as your bust point. Mark this point on the bust line, the under bust line, the waistline, and the top length line, and then connect the 4 points with a straight line. On the waistline, measure ½ inch to 3/4 inch on both sides of the dart line, and then mark the points. From the bust point, draw straight lines downwards, connecting it to the 2 points on the waistline. On your top length line, come up by 2 inches and mark out this new point. Now use your straight ruler to draw out straight lines connecting that new point to the 2 points we have on the waistline. What you should be left with is a diamond shaped dart, which forms your bodice dart. At this point, if you've not done so already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. On the chest line, divide your bust circumference by 4 and mark the measurement. For example, the bust measurement I used here is 41 inches, which divided by 4 equals 10.25 inches. Next, move to the waistline. Start by dividing your waist circumference by 4, then add the total width of the dart to that measurement. For example, the waist circumference used here is 27 inches. Dividing that by 4 gave me 7.25 inches, and then the dart width was 1.5 inches. So when added together, the final waist measurement on the pattern became 8.75 inches. Mark this measurement down on the waistline. On the top length line, divide your hip circumference by 4 and mark the measurement down. For example, a hip measurement of 35.5 inches divided by 4 equals 8.875 inches. Next, connect the points on your bust line, waistline, and top length line together using a slightly curved edge of your ruler. Avoid creating a sharp point at the waistline as the human body naturally has a soft curved shape. To create the side dart, first measure your shoulder to waist length at the front and the shoulder to waist length at the back. Subtract the back measurement from the front measurement. For example, my front measurement was 18 inches and my back measurement was 16 inches, which gave me a difference of 2 inches. Back to the pattern, measure 2 inches down from the bust line along the side seam and mark the point down. Then draw a straight line connecting the bust dart point to this new point. This creates your side dart line. Now add 1.5 to 2 inches around the side seams and connect them with a slightly curved ruler, and this will be your seam allowance. To cut out the pattern, just follow exactly what I'm doing in this video so that you don't make any mistake, but it's very straightforward and simple. Now you should be left with a front pattern that looks like this. To draw the back pattern, we'll be repeating almost every step we used for the front pattern. However, there will be 2 changes. First, we'll begin by drawing a 1 inch wide vertical line to create the zipper allowance. The second change is that the top length line will be shorter than the one we used at the front pattern. If you've forgotten what we're talking about, go back to the point in this video where we took measurements for the side darts. For me, my front was 18 inches and my back was 16 inches, so we have a difference of about 2 inches, meaning that the front pattern will be 2 inches longer than the back. Next, mark your vertical measurements starting from the top of the pattern. Measure and mark your shoulder to chest, shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, and then the top length measurement, and draw horizontal lines across the pattern. Now let's draw the back neckline. From the top corner, come down by 1.5 inches for the neck depth. Next, measure 3 inches inward for the neck width. Now, connect the 2 points together with a gentle curve using your curved ruler, and that's the neckline for the back. Next, mark half of your shoulder measurement from the neckline, and then place the same measurement on the chest line. Then, as we did in the front, connect both points with a straight line to form the shoulder line. From that shoulder line, measure 1 inch downwards again to create the shoulder slope, then connect it back to the neckline. Just as we did with the front pattern, divide the remaining section of the line into 2 and then come in by 1/2 inch. Then use your curved ruler to draw a smooth line connecting the shoulder slope to the midpoint and to the chest line. For the back dart, divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and mark it down on your chest line, your bust line, your under bust line, your waistline, and your top length line. Then use your straight ruler to draw a straight line connecting all those points together. From the waistline, measure 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch on both sides of the dart line and then connect those points to the dart points we have on the chest line. Once again, come up by 2 inches from the top left line and then connect that point to the 2 dart points we have on the waistline using a straight ruler. For the waistline, come out by 1/2 inch. Then connect this point to the neckline extension we have for the zipper allowance and also the top length extension we have for the zipper allowance. This is to prevent any sort of bulging you have when you're attaching your zipper. Now we'll mark the body measurements. On the chest line, divide your bust circumference by 4 and mark it down. On the waistline, divide your waist circumference by 4, then add the total width of the darts to that measurement. For example, if the waist circumference is 27 inches, dividing that by 4 will give you 7.25 inches, and then the dart width is 1.5 inches, so when you add it together, your final waist measurement is 8.75 inches, and mark it down. Finally, on your top length line, divide your hip circumference by 4 and mark that measurement down as well. Using the slightly curved edge of your ruler, connect the points from the chest line, waistline, and top length line to form the side seam. As we did in the front pattern, add 1.5 to 2 inches of seam allowance to the side seam and use the slightly curved edge of your ruler to connect those points together again. I've gone ahead to outline the pattern with a marker and label the different lines so you can easily compare your draft with the one shown on the screen. The areas I'm crossing off, such as the bust dart and the side dart, are sections that will either be cut out or sewn off when transferring the pattern onto the fabric. And that completes your basic bodice pattern pieces. I hope this tutorial was helpful and easy to follow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who might find it helpful, and subscribe to this channel for more easy to follow fashion design tutorials. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!